Welcome to Two Old Guys Reselling Podcast, episode 34. So glad you could join us for just a few minutes. Thank you guys for listening in. I am Chris, the old school picker. Along beside me is my co-host, the Old Pass. Say hello, Caleb.
Hello, Caleb.
Hello, Caleb.
All
right, I want to get right into the reselling topic for this video here because
we're going to have reselling talk.
Yeah, and I know most people that listen to us are resellers. Number one, did you ship Monday?
I did ship Monday.
Okay, well, yes, I assumed you did. I figured you did. Did you have any problem shipping Monday?
Oh, no.
Really?
Well, I'm lying. We actually shipped Sunday night, but we hauled it off. We packed everything up, printed our labels, and hauled it off Monday morning. But no,
well, Monday I came out here to ship. I had 11 or 12 go out. You know, not great, not bad either. And I got through about half of them, and it was probably around, I want to say, it was right around lunchtime. Right around. I got through about half of them. No problems. Everything was going good. And then all of a sudden, man, eBay shipping just crashed. I couldn't pull up a label. I couldn't print a label. It wasn't, something is wrong screen came up. When you went to print the label, that's what came up. It wouldn't take you into where you put the dimensions and the weight and all that. So I got about half my label shipped Monday and it absolutely crashed.
Well, there was probably only about 7 million packages.
Well, okay. Yeah, but okay. That's still not good, right?
Oh, it's not good.
How many packages is Walmart processing a day right now? So
I know.
Excuses, right?
I just kind of figured the server might have been overwhelmed.
Well, something was overwhelmed, but
yeah.
So I get into, and I usually ship and box my stuff up one at a time, go over there and print the label when I'm not making videos. Now, when I'm making videos, I do it different. So I was doing it one at a time. So I was like, okay, I'll stop printing labels, of course, because I couldn't. So I just went ahead and packed all the rest of the items up, which was 5 or 6 more. And I thought, well, by the time I get this done, probably 20, 30 minutes, it'll go back to working. No.
Still. Oh, boy.
So, no, I don't know how long it was down. Of course, I just go on pirateship.com and print my labels from there. But the reason I brought it up is, number one, I'd like to know if anybody else had problems Monday, which would have been what, December 3rd? December 3rd around lunchtime.
No.
Or if it was
4th.
4th, yeah, 4th.
This is Tuesday when we recorded.
December 4th. Did you have any problems printing labels on eBay, or was it just me?
Well, I didn't have any trouble December 3rd.
Yeah,
you 8:45 at night.
Sunday night, and that's a good idea, especially if you're selling a ton right now, which a lot of people are. But also, of course, that's on the seller side. But my wife has been going on eBay and buying some Christmas presents. Support the small seller, right? I love that, which absolutely. Kobe, he has autism. My youngest son has autism. He likes a lot of old VHS. He likes old children's books, stuff you can't go on Walmart.com and buy, stuff you can't really, stuff that Amazon's really not known for. So you go to eBay and buy it, right?
Absolutely.
My wife went on there, and I can't remember if it was some books or some VHS or something and I don't remember what day this was. It wasn't Monday though. It was sometime this weekend. Went on there and tried to check out for 30 minutes.
Wow.
And it wouldn't let her. Every time she went to check out, it kept taking her back to the seller's store.
Goodness.
For 30 minutes. Now she finally got it to go through. But how many of our customers are fighting that for 30 minutes and saying, heck with it, I really didn't want it that bad anyways, and going somewhere else and buying it?
Yep, I think that was a lot of the problem this year.
Yeah. And and I'm not on here to dog eBay. I could really care less right now, but that's just the same old with eBay. And it's concerning, not only, number one, for present time, but it's concerning for the future too, because there's some other sites chomping at the bits to take over that number one spot. or number two
Absolutely.
spot if you want to put Amazon at the first. But so
I guess it's just part of the old, you better keep up with the technology of the times, and eBay is a little bit behind on that stuff.
Well, the last 10 years of Kmart's existence, did you ever go on Kmart.com? I know I've talked about this before.
I don't know if I ever knew there was a Kmart.com.
Well, there was, and it reminds you of the eBay side at this point. It was so dated and so old.
Wow.
This ain't going to be an eBay bully video, although when you got problems on the seller side and the buyer side, the customer side, it's not good, eBay. Get your crap together.
Not good.
Well, it's just like with my wife. She's like, I knew to just keep trying because living with you, I know how eBay is sometimes. But how many of our people just like, heck with it? I'm not sitting here fighting this.
Well, a lot of people get nervous too. Like if you hit checkout, hit that pay button and it don't go through, you're afraid, is it going to charge me twice, three times, four times?
It wouldn't even take her to the pay button. It kept on taking her back to the seller's store.
That's pretty messed up.
So I was like, oh my God, don't even tell me that. She didn't tell me that till today. And I was like, that's funny you should say that because I had shipping issues Monday. So it's just frustrating. I don't know. I know your eBay's cranking it right now. And hey, mine's not been so bad either. I'm not griping about sales. But if that kind of stuff keeps you out of one sale, that's too many.
Oh, yes, I agree.
That's too many because
I don't want anything to fall through. I want it all to go through.
I mean, on hers, it was, probably a $5 VHS or something, but hey, it might be a $200 something.
Could be.
And it could be something that somebody's like, heck, I'll just go to Amazon or I'll go to Walmart.com or.
Not Kmart.com, though.
Not Kmart.com. And I'm afraid that's what I'm saying. Is eBay.com going to be around?
It may be.
I mean,
be dated.
Here's the thing. We've talked about this off and on all year. It's been issues off and on all year. I don't care if people believe it or not. My wife was a buyer on there trying to buy something. It took her 30 minutes to check out. My wife buys 90% of the stuff we get in this house comes from online. My wife knows how to buy online.
Yep.
And I mean, it's just, how long is it going to take them to get it fixed?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Well, I mean, is it going to, is it going to take as long to fix as it is to automatically accept best offers? If it does that, we're talking a decade. So,
yeah. Well, they still ain't got it. So
they still ain't got it, right? Decade plus.
But I mean, that makes you wonder because, like we had the best weekend ever. And I talked to you about that.
Incoming Caleb brag. Go ahead. The floor is yours. Brag.
So we sold over 70 things over the weekend. But now that makes me wonder if we'd have sold 80 things or 75 or 85 or 100.
Even if it's one or two things. To me, there's no sense in it, is my point. There's no... If it's a problem, you hear about AA meetings. What's the first thing they say? You have to first admit you have a problem.
Oh, I've never been to one, so I didn't.
Well, I don't either, but I've never been either. But you hear about these things. You read. There's this thing called Google, and you can Google it.
Oh,
the first thing they do is tell alcoholics to admit they have a problem. I feel like it's time for eBay to admit they have a problem. Man, that's a good title for a video.
eBay. We have a problem.
eBay, we have a problem. It's time for eBay to admit they have a problem. They're not going to fix it until they admit they have one.
Well, the problem goes a lot deeper than a couple of nobody resellers on YouTube podcast. Until it is affecting, is eBay a publicly traded company now? They are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So until it affects stockholders, shareholders, you keep those people happy. That's the way Walmart went when they went public. Used to. My mom worked there for 20 years. Back in the day, Walmart was all about its people. And I mean, it's probably one of the better places still. But back in the day, they took care of people way more than most places do now.
Right.
And nowadays, anything corporate is going to be, let's keep our people at the top happy first.
Well, I think that's the problem, though. I think eBay shareholders are happy because with promoted listings and all these new fees, they're making more money.
Yep.
But they don't understand they're still losing. They're leaving money on the table still.
I wonder what the balance of that would be, because there is a balance there. Like, can we make more if we charge more, or can we make more if we make it better for the seller? Like there's a teeter-totter there, because to me, I look at it like kind of like if you own your own business, you treat your people well, you treat them well, you pay them well, you keep morale high, and they will perform better for you. That's kind of my thought. But I don't know, maybe eBay, the stockholders or whoever look at it like we'd rather have top dollar, however you have to get it, whether that's promoting your store, promoting advanced or what. And I don't do any of that. I've never even tried any of that, but whatever brings them more money. And there's people like me and you that are already paying, what is it? 12% is the standard fee, 11, 12, something like that.
Is it 12.9? I think it's 12.9, ain't it?
Somewhere in that range. Let's just call it 12 and a half. And then if you promote your listings, say you go in at 5%, well, there's another 5% chunk. And so now, hey, promote your store to be featured more. Well, how much am I going to spend on that? Let's say you throw 5% there. And then let's say you throw some at the promoted listings advanced. Before you know it, you're making like 20% of your money back. Well,
when I'm out shopping and thrifting and sourcing and all that, I always figure 20%. That's what, and when I'm sitting there going over the numbers in my head, I'm like, all right, this is $5. I'm going to sell it for 20. I'm giving eBay 20% of that. That's how I figure 20%. I never figure 12. I never figure 15. I always say 20, at least 20, actually.
That's probably the most I'd want to go into something.
Well, I was just using numbers for example, but 20% is what I figure on fees. I never figure 12 or 13 or 15. I always figure at least 20 because, like you said, 12, 13%, and then you're always promoting, seems like somewhere between 4 and 7% usually.
And then cost of supplies and
that's
whatever you got, And there's one thing I don't hear talked about a lot, but I mentioned it in another guy's video. I commented, he said something about people saying, you're ripping people off by buying stuff at yard sales to resell. It's okay to buy it for personal use, but don't resell it. That type of argument. And he said, hey, put it in the comments what you think. And I said, well, one of the biggest factors is I'm buying the risk. If I buy a computer or just anything, especially electronics, video games, anything mechanical, you're buying the risk. So if you pay $20 for something and you make, say, $200, well, that sounds great. Then there's all those fees you just talked about, and you took upon yourself the risk of losing that. So if they send that back, for if you don't do due diligence and it comes back as a defect or whatever, as a damaged or whatever, we all know that
return
if people want to, they can return anything if they know how to game it. But just say it comes back, so now you've lost your shipping going out, you've lost your shipping coming in, and you've lost your money on the item because you can't resell it because it's broke. So now that risk turned from 20 probably to $60 or maybe even more, how big it is,
Well, I mean, if you can't sell it again, instead of making money, you just lost a ton of, like you said, turns at 20 into negative 60.
This brings up a question for you, Mr. Retired. So when you sell something, let's just say you sold something electronic and it had, delicate pieces. I sold something the other day, so why I'm bringing this up. I had a guy buy, it was television testing equipment. It was a really cool old tube type thing that had the lines, and you would tune your TV and it'd squiggle and all that. And
tube testing.
Well, yeah, but it had a name. I can't remember it was a specific thing. But anyway, so when the guy got it, he said it's making a noise, rattling around. He went into a bunch of details about, I think so-and-so inside of the unit is broken. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. So do you automatically just say send it back and I'll refund it? Do you ever go the route of if it's damaged, make a claim with the carrier? If there's damage to the package or anything like that?
I mean, I probably have 20 years is a long time. I'm sure I have. I know I've done damage claims before, but if they just, unless they say, at the very beginning, hey man, I got my package, looks like it'd been ran over. If they go that route, yeah, sure, I'm gonna make a claim.
Well, that's what I mean. Not just necessarily. Well,
but if they got it and they say it don't work, and I don't never know.
But if there was visible evidence, like how do you break something glass? And I'm not talking about a glass figurine or nothing.
Right.
This is hard, How do you break something inside a unit encased in metal without being pretty rough on that? So, the reason I asked, the guy that sent it back, after I told him, I said, yeah, go ahead and send it back. And I was nice enough to say send it back even after the 30 days. He had waited till after 30 days.
One question. How did you ship it? What
probably UPS. Which
UPS, I've had decent luck with getting money.
I've never got
more than USPS. USPS, man, good luck.
See, mine's the opposite. I've done better with post office.
Yeah.
I've had like two UPS turned down. One, they said the box wasn't the thick enough grade, yada yada yada. And I'm like, okay, now, how you going to fight it? You can't really. So, but no, this guy, after I told him he was welcome to send it back after the 30 days had expired, he went on, not ugly or hateful or anything, but he said, I have to drive 80 miles to I live in the Grand Canyon. I got to drive 80 miles to the nearest post office. And I'm like, well, I really can't help that. I mean, you as a buyer took that risk, right? And you bought something on eBay knowing that you have a return guarantee, but I want that item back because I'm tired of giving away stuff, because there's too many people that play that game.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't.
To me, that example sounds like a perfect fishing for a partial.
Well, it sounded that way, but he never phrased it like he wanted one, unless he was just really good. And the reason I don't think he was after one is because he only asked 2 or 3 questions. Then he packed it up and sent it back. He drove the 80 miles and dropped it off and sent it back. And when it got here, it was broken. Unless the guy was like, crap, I can't get my money. I'm going to go break it real quick and ship it back. And who would do that? Just right. I guess it could happen, but
right now.
And then there's this other theory that,
well, on something like that too, in my experience, usually they're not the scammers. The scammers are usually the people that's after all this new technology, new equipment, that type of stuff. These old people, I say old people, I'm assuming he's probably old if he's into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Usually, typically not, but now, I don't know. It's a tough one.
Do you ever suspect you've ever had anything purchased with the intent of them swapping parts just to send it back to you?
Yes.
I have to.
Yeah. But, not probably as much as like a lot of people think or a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Because I don't deal in, most of that comes in high-end electronics.
Yes.
And I just don't deal in high-end electronics for a bunch of reasons. Number one, around here, you don't see high-end electronics,
not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. I never buy electronics at thrift stores because there's a reason they get donated. Yeah. People donate them because they don't work. Throw that crap in the garbage. They don't, nobody else want it either. Throw it in the garbage.
There's a couple of our thrift stores that
they're
have a bad reputation for not testing anything.
Well, and I'm okay with that, but when you put the sticker on it that says tested and works, that's when I get ticked off.
Yes, I'm not okay with that.
I've had a couple of run-ins with our thrift stores about that. I'm like, It had a sticker on it, said tested and works. I took it home. It don't work. I want my money back. If it says not tested, I would rather it say not tested. Be honest about it.
Absolutely.
Lie to me about it. But yeah, I learned a long time ago, electronics, it's best to stay away from them at thrift stores.
Yeah.
Now, yard sales, I have pretty good luck. A lot of times, if it's big money, of course, I'll go in there and plug it into the garage or something, test it out. But usually, I'm not saying everywhere, but around here, people are pretty trusting, I think. And, of course, a lot of times you'll hear well, it worked the last time I tested it.
Yeah, that's what gets me.
Okay. Yesterday, was 4 years ago.
7 years ago when I checked it.
There's a difference. So, I mean, you got to be careful with electronics.
My thing,
many reasons.
At yard sales, I've always kind of been able to judge it kind of on a case-by-case basis. I remember walking into one, and this guy had like, I guess the man maybe had passed away, and they had like 8 or 10 cassette decks, CD decks, changers, all stacked up out here on the table.
Yeah.
And man, they was clean. They was nice. They was good. And they had like $200 for all of it wrote on a paper there. Well, there's like 10 things. So, it wasn't a bad buy.
Right.
And I talked to him and I'm like, hey, does everything work? And I mean, you could look at it and tell it was
right,
almost new. And I bought it all. And if I remember right, I think every piece of it worked.
Yeah.
So you can kind of learn conditioning, visual conditioning and stuff too.
Yeah. A lot of times it works. Yeah. A lot of times it works.
All this reseller talk, man? We got to get away from this.
I mean, if it looks like it don't work, there's a good chance it ain't going to work.
That's right.
But now that is a good point though. Most of my successful electronic deals have been at estate sales. That's one place that, you can judge it by how the rest of the stuff in the house looks or how the house itself looks.
That's right.
If it's beat all to pieces, then there's a good chance it don't work. But some of that stuff, it's worth the money just in parts alone.
Oh, it can be. It can be.
I think I told you about a sale or a buy I had this past year. I bought 7 VCR DVD combos at one yard sale. Now, I always say if you got 7 of them, that means at least 6 of them don't work. They bought that 7th one for a reason. Those other 6 don't work. But when she told me that I could have them for $1 a piece, I was like, I don't even care if one of them works. It's worth the $7. So, but man, I stay away from that stuff a lot just because I hate testing it.
Testing it is a booger. I agree with that.
I don't enjoy it. It's like cleaning shoes for me.
I hate shoes.
I just don't enjoy it. I want to sell stuff and deal in stuff that I enjoy. If I don't enjoy it, I go up here to Lowe's or Buc-ee's or whatever and get a dang job. If I don't enjoy it, what's the point, right?
Yeah, it makes it like a 9 to 5 then.
All right. Well, there you go. 23 minutes of reselling talk.
I was beginning to wonder if this was our real show.
No, this is your own. Well, it sure ain't trash to cash. That's for sure. They don't talk about it either.
They don't talk about nothing. They just pick on each other the whole show, right?
Right. Okay. Enough reselling talk. I do want to talk about something personal.
What?
That is going on in my life right now, and it ain't good.
I'm interested. I'm going to just sit back and listen.
Neti pots.
Yeah. I see they're the devil.
They are the devil. I'm not even kidding you.
Nothing but fingers up this nose, buddy.
Oh my goodness. Have you ever done a neti pot?
I've done a nasal rinse,
whatever they call them.
Don't like
the one I've got's actually technically not a neti pot neti pot. It's a sinus rinse. Okay, my ear that's been stopped up for several months, it's still stopped up. I'm going on month number 9 or 10, I think. So I go to the doctor about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Actually, it's been a while, and they said, okay, before we do anything else, we got to make sure. Now, this is an ear, nose, and throat doctor, ENT doctor. This is not just regular doctor. It's like, I said, my primary doctor has told me my ear's stopped up. It's got fluid on it, but it's not an infection. He looked at my ear. They done hearing tests and everything. He's like, yeah, for some reason, your eardrum is punched out there, making you have a stopped up ear, not be able to hear and unclog it. He said, but it does not have fluid on it. He said, I have seen this a couple of times And he said, there isn't, he said, actually, his mother-in-law had this happen to her. No explanation for it, not allergy related necessarily, not infection, not fluid. For some reason, my eardrum is just pushed out there, and it's just one of those weird things. I don't know. That's how he explained it to me. I'm like, are you kidding me? Or, I mean, only this happens to me, right? He said, so before we do anything else, he said, I would like to go in there and just numb it, cut your eardrum just a little, see what happens, see if it, and this is great content, right? And he's like, it might release it. This is what he's telling me. He's like, it might release it, but I'm not 100% sure if it will or not. I'm like,
boy.
He said, I done it to my mother-in-law, and he said it didn't. He said, but finally hers just come undone itself. He said, but it was like 10 months. And I was like, well, I'm going on at this time like 8 or 9 months myself. He said, so he sent me home with this neti pot. I've been waiting for 2 weeks for Walgreens. #Walgreens is horrible. To get in the medicine, because you put medicine in it, you put some kind of solution in it, you fill it up with distilled water. So I finally got it today, and you're supposed to do this twice a day. I think it's 4 ounces. No. Let's see. It's either 4. I think it's 8. No, it's 4 ounces.
It goes up one side and down the other.
You're supposed to do half of it, which is 2 ounces in one nostril, half of it in another nostril. And you're supposed to squeeze it hard enough to where the water goes up one nostril and out the other nostril. Let me just tell you, I done it today for the first time. I thought I was dying. I'm not kidding. My wife was in there watching, trying her hardest not to laugh.
Oh, man.
I squirt maybe a teaspoon or a tablespoon. Maybe a tablespoon up one nostril. Maybe. I've got 8 ounces or 4 ounces to do, right? I do just a little bit. And I slam it down. And I said, I don't care if my ears stay stopped up for the rest of my life. I can't do this.
Oh, wow. That's so great.
I cannot do this. I felt like I was drowning, Caleb.
Oh, why couldn't you could have videoed that for us.
Oh, I should have, honestly. I should have. I slam it down. I tell her, I can't do it. I'm done. I feel like I'm drowning. I go in there like a 2-year-old and sat down on the couch, mad. Because I'm like, what am I going to do? I've waited on this medicine for 2 weeks, but I've waited to get my ear unstopped for 8, 9 months. I've done all this, went to the doctor. I mean, I spent a whole day at the doctor because it was in Chattanooga.
Oh, man.
Mad. So I'm sitting there on the couch on my phone. Just my wife comes in there. Well, what do you want me to do with it? I'm like, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm mad. It sucks. I'm not doing it. So she says, well, I'm just going to leave it in there because I know you'll think about it and you'll end up doing it. And then she says, it's a good thing women have children because men ain't tough enough. And I was like, well, that's the truth for sure. But
yeah, she's right.
So I sat in there and mad about it for about 10 minutes. I throw my phone down and I go in there and I just do it. And I'm telling you right now, they are the devil. Neti pot or the devil. Leave it in the comments down below if you've ever had to do it. I tell you what it's like. It's like an enema for your nose.
Yes. I was about to say.
It's an enema for your nose. Let's just be honest and upfront and just face the facts. It is an enema for your nose.
So you need to come out with the neti pot man. Since Kevin's got the enema, man, you can.
Oh my goodness! If anybody has a neti pot stuffed plushie and got like a 10,000 of them, hit me up and I'll
send them on over to the old school.
Yeah, I'll be a millionaire like Kevin. And they're bad. They're bad. I did. I thought I was going to drown.
I know a guy. I used to work with a guy. He swore by one. He said, you need to do this every day. I'm like, no. And he, every morning before he came to work, because, in a warehouse, cardboard dust and a lot of dust, he said he would come out brown,
Yeah.
And then when he got home of an evening, he would do it again. I'm like, twice every day, every single day. I'm like, you must really be a glutton for punishment.
Well, when the doctor that I went to, the ear, nose, and throat doctor, he told me, he said, we're going to try this for 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, God.
Twice a day. Well, I'd never done one. So I was like, sure, I'll try it 4 or 6 weeks. My ear's been stopped up for 9 months. Whatever. I'll try anything at this point.
Poor Shannon.
Oh, I had to put my game face on, put my big boy pants on, and go in there and just do it. And I got to do it again tonight. That was around lunchtime. So I got to come
over. I want to come over and watch.
I'll live stream it tomorrow.
Oh, man.
I did figure out the secret, though. You got to leave your mouth open when you do it.
Yes, you do. You do.
See, that's what I didn't do. When I'd done that like teaspoon or tablespoon amount in there, I was like, oh my God, I'm drowning. How do people do that? Yeah, you got to leave your mouth open. And they failed to mention that in the instructions. You just figure that one out on your own.
Yep.
Well, it's horrible.
That's so great.
I'm telling you, I got to do it again tonight. And then, of course, twice tomorrow. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. It's bad. I'm telling you, it's really bad. And
you know what might help you?
What?
Go get tested for sleep apnea.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm telling you, from a guy that has it. Do you snore?
Yeah, you know, I mean, everybody snores every now and then, but yeah, my wife says hardly ever.
Hardly ever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Rare.
You ever have headaches in the mornings at all, like just for 20, 30 minutes?
Mm-mm.
Do you get tired pretty easy?
Quit trying to diagnose me with something.
Listen,
I'm struggling here with the old neti pot.
I'm telling you right now, when I went and got tested, I thought my mother-in-law and my wife both said you need to get tested.
Mm.
And really all they do to test you is put those little things. They watch you while you sleep. Basically, there's nothing intrusive really about it. So I go get tested. They have a number like any kind of, readout. And it's called AHI, which is your number is supposed to be 5 or below. That's a healthy AHI. You know what mine was?
20.
That's your guess?
Yeah.
110.
Come on. Was you even breathing?
No.
Yeah.
No, that number, what it means is 110 times per hour. I would either stop breathing, I would cough, I would snore, I would hiccup, anything that disrupts your breathing. Most of mine
110 times per hour.
That's twice a minute.
That's twice a minute.
And it can last up to 10 to 15 seconds per time.
Jeez.
You think about that. You're breathing half of every minute you're breathing, and the other half you're struggling. Mine, I've caught myself falling asleep in my chair, and I'll just do this. Nothing. And all of a sudden I'll go wake up and take a big, deep breath. A guy I worked with had it worse than me. Not much worse, but a little worse. He would tell me, he'd be like, I don't even remember driving to work today. And he'd say, I'm seeing things at my house. He said, I think my house is haunted. I'm like, I think your brain is probably not working.
I don't think, I rest good. I sleep good. I'd say on average, I still get 8 hours of sleep. My Fitbit tells me too. It's got sleep cycles. Now, how accurate it is, I don't know, but
probably decently.
According to it, I sleep pretty darn good usually. My sleep score on it's usually in the 80s at least. And a lot of times, like Shannon's, because she don't sleep good, a lot of times hers will be like 50s and 60s. So,
I would like to wear one of them and not wear my mask one night and see what it says. But see, when I started taking treatment, which the treatment is just you wear a mask,
right?
And that's where I was coming from was your neti pot. If you don't like that, you probably wouldn't like something blowing in your face all night.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, this thing,
I think I sleep good though. I don't.
You see the red spot? I can't get rid of it because that's where my mask sits, and then it comes right down through here like this.
Don't they have an alternative to that now?
It's not, I don't think, fully embraced by the FDA yet, but they have a surgery called the rhythm surgery where they it's basically a stent in your throat. because I know this is such great content, but listen, what it is.
Well, we're two old guys,
Yes,
and
old
listen,
guys.
getting old is not fun.
Yes.
So this is our belly aching segment of
That's
getting
right.
old.
So the problem with that is when you go to sleep, all your muscles are supposed to relax except for your throat muscle. It's supposed to stay active. If you have sleep apnea, that muscle will go dormant. Also, that's what causes you to snore.
Right. Okay.
The air will go between the muscle and the tissue and kind of flap, and that's where the sound comes from. So the air forces that to stay open. When I first started, I've been on this thing for about 5 years. When I first started, about after the 4th or 5th day, I was sleeping in a different bedroom because Tanya couldn't stand it for the first little bit. So it was a Saturday morning. I'd went to bed at like 10 o'clock. 3 o'clock hits, and I'm like, boop. I wake up, and I'm telling you right now, it was like I was intensely awake. They call that the oxygen high.
Yeah.
Your brain has been starved at night so much for oxygen, all of a sudden it gets a bunch of it, and it's like bang, like a drug high, basically.
Yeah. We're awake. Let's go do something.
Well, you know what? I got up. I couldn't go back to sleep. I got up at 3. I watched 2 movies, and then it's like 7:30, and I'm like, when is everybody getting up? You know?
Yeah. What are y'all doing in there?
I stayed up. I mean, I was getting after it, and that lasts about 2 or 3 days. Then you start balancing out, and now I sleep good. But if I ever don't wear it, oh man, you talk about a sore throat.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get the high off the neti pot.
I don't think you will. You're getting the low.
Maybe I'm not putting the right stuff in it.
Yeah, that's it. You need to change your stuff.
I don't know. I'm telling you, it's bad though.
Oh, I know.
I wouldn't wear that mask every night either, though.
I totally agree. Hey, just so you know, I'm changing my sale of the week right now because I just had a sale.
Yeah,
just now had a sale. Yeah, so I'm gonna update my sale of the week.
Well, I mean, you might as well just go ahead and talk about it since you already brought it up.
Let's talk about it.
Reselling. We're not a health podcast.
That's right.
I'm telling you, don't ever do neti pots unless you just have to, though. I told my wife I wasn't doing it. I was like, I'm not doing it. I don't care. Throw the crap in the garbage. I'm not doing it. She's like, I'll just leave it in here because I know you'll change your mind. And then she kind of slung in there I'm tougher than you. Well, she knows. She knows I'm competitive. So that lit a fire under me, and I was like, I'm just going to go in there and just do it. And I did. And once I done it, honestly, now I say that now, but it wasn't as bad as leaving your mouth open is the secret.
Yes.
I mean, that's the secret. Just lean over the sink and just let it pour out wherever it's pouring out, because it's going to pour out every hole in your body, in your face.
Wait a minute. I was about to say, hold on.
In your face, not your ears.
That's what made me think of the CPAP mask. I have to wear the whole thing.
Yeah.
The full face. I tried the one that just goes into your nose. Mm-hmm. If you can wear those, they're really not bad. But if you're a mouth breather, which unfortunately I am, and your mouth comes open, all that air just right out your mouth. So I have to wear the whole thing. My brother-in-law wears the nose one, and it's a trip to watch him. He just lays there and he sleeps horrible if he don't wear it. He sounds like he's dying, but when he puts it on, he's like a log.
Yeah.
And he's told me he's caught himself waking up and he'll breathe, you know, and then that thing will force the air. Like he'll quit breathing, but it'll keep breathing for him. And I'm like, that's kind of scary.
Sale of the week.
Sale of the week. I just sold a Yellow Jacket Titan manifold tool. It's a digital manifold tool for air conditioning. Are you ready for this?
$1,000.
$5.99.
$5.99. Sale of the week, guys.
No. plus 594 shipping.
Yeah, plus $5.94. Yeah, $5.99.99. Big. That's huge.
That's huge. That's one of my biggest sales ever, I would say.
What did we pay for this?
I want to say, I think I gave like $80 for it, but I knew what it was.
Right.
Maybe I gave like $70 or $80, but I got something else with it. But the thing about it was still in the package, brand new. So perfect. But I did pay up a little bit for it. I probably got 40 in it because I got something else with it. I can't remember what it was. Well, I was able to do 2 listings out of it.
Can I talk about my sale of the week?
If you want to. Hey, my other sale of the week though, before that one, was a air purifier for $279. But now you can go ahead.
Okay. My sale of the week was the vintage Gabriel Lone Ranger Silver Tonto Scout. 2 action figures with both their horses.
That was a good one.
I showed that 3-4 episodes ago when I bought it. Let's see, sold it full price, $179.99 plus shipping. I did pay up for those as well. I paid $40 for them.
Still, that's good.
But it's so funny though that I ran into those because it was just a mile from my house, maybe. But I've actually sold that Lone Ranger figure before, and the horse before, but I never had Tonto or Scout before, which is Tonto's horse. But they had just about all their accessories, their little pistols, their gun belts, their sashes, their clothes, their boots, their hats. Pretty darn good set. And when I seen them at this yard sale, and she's like, she wanted 50 for them. And I was like, you know what? I'll take them, which I'd bought them for 50 because I knew what they were and what they were worth. I said, you know what? I'll take them off your. No, I think she wanted 60. I believe she wanted 60 because I came back at 4. I came at her at 40 and she said at 50. And I was like, well, I knew you was going to say that. And then I was like, I think I'll just stick at 40, but I would have bought them at 50. I would have bought them at 60 actually, because they're so cool. But I did end up getting them for $40 because when you find that stuff, number one, it's good. You know, it's good. But man, when you find them that complete, because I mean, the little bitty, the little bitty rifle or pistols are so tiny on that stuff. You know, that stuff's so hard to find, and in that kind of condition. Oh yeah. They even had the mounts that the horses stood on to keep them standing. So,
well, you're probably going to be the only person on eBay with that kind of that kind of lot of it. There's not going to be too many,
It was a really good set. I had it listed at $199 for a while, and I had like 23 watchers. And I kept on sending offers, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to send offers on it for a while. I'm just going to reduce the price. Reduced it down to $179.99, and I had it at that price for probably about 2 weeks, maybe. But it finally sold, and shipped them out Monday. It was one of eBay didn't get no money on shipping on that one because their shipping service didn't work, so I used the old pirate ship.
The old pirate ship. I like the old pirate ship when it like that.
Well, it's the first time I'd used it in a while.
I haven't used it in a while either, but
I got away from using it, and I was like, golly, man, what is that? Which, hey, I'm blaming eBay. It could have been USPS problems. I don't know, but when I went to pirate ship, they shipped right off. So I don't know. Who knows? It was something in between USPS, or it had to be eBay because UPS labels and all that. Nothing was coming. So it had to be eBay.
It sounds like it probably was an eBay, probably like a server issue.
Yeah. I did have a few good sales though this past week. I had that one. That was the best one, of course. I sold a die-cast truck for $35 plus shipping. I sold another Tennessee Thumper baseball bat. I sold another one. $40 on it plus the shipping. I sold Fontanini Christmas Nativity Advent calendar for $30.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I had some decent sales. I'm just not having as many right now because I'm not listing, and I just don't have enough items listed. But
still not listed yet.
No.
So that's
I'm
like
not going
30. That's like 35 days.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah.
So
I'm
the
not going. I'm
retirement.
not going to the rest of the year. I've done made my mind up.
So the retirement's going pretty good then.
Well, my payout this week, my payout last week was $453. I talked about it. Now that's low by my standards, but like I said, I'm not working at all other than shipping. This week it was down a little, but still halfway decent. 347.75.
Hey man, if you're making 350 and not doing anything,
I mean, how can you go wrong?
I don't know many people that wouldn't be happy with that kind of money not doing a thing.
I mean, I'm happy now.
Yeah.
Do I know that's going to come to an end eventually? Yes. Eventually, that's because you're going to run out of good stuff. I mean, I think that Lone Ranger said, I think that was my most expensive item in my eBay store. I think.
That was a cool item, though. I looked at it a couple times. I'm surprised I didn't get an offer on it.
Yeah, I am too. If you was watching it or had looked at it.
I've looked at it a few times, yeah.
I had like 23 watchers on it.
Wow.
And so,
man.
Shout out Lone Ranger. There's still plenty of fans out there for that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I love that show.
eBay is king of that stuff, man. King.
eBay's king of that stuff. Now, whether they always will be, I don't know.
I think they've got a pretty good lifespan still yet, but even if they do go the route of Kmart operated that way for like 15 years before they died. So
true, but
I let the TV go off again.
Yeah, but you know, before they really, really died, but you know, of those last 5 years, you know, how bad was they? Was they making money those last 5 years? I don't know.
They couldn't have been making a whole lot of money.
Right. They wasn't making enough to stay open. I'll say that. So.
No, they closed a lot of stores.
Have you seen where Toys R Us is trying to make a comeback?
I've heard that they were going to attempt to for like a year now.
Yeah, I think they've got a few. I think, don't nobody hold me to this.
What about a Toys R Us that was an online only? That's the future, man. I'm telling you, that's the future of all. Brick and mortar is really going to struggle.
And that's where
people like Walmart are going to dominate, and Lowe's, you know, places like that in home goods. And yeah, if you're buying stuff like what most people buy, online is the future.
I mean, even Lowe's and like Home Depot and stuff, though, you can buy so much of their stuff online. You can order lumber and have it delivered to your house.
Yep.
You know, just online. And so I don't know.
All of it. I mean, all of it. You can basically buy anything online. Basically, I don't know. Most anything. Hey, I've got a bucket list. I come up with some. I've got
where I was headed next.
I've got one. You want mine first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next thing on my bucket list that I want to do is I want to add on to my shed.
Good grief. That's work. That's not a bucket list. That's work.
That's what I want to do.
The main shed?
Yes. I actually thought about building a little horseshoe and connecting the two together. Wouldn't that be cool?
Do you have regrets of where you set the second shed?
Not really. I've actually talked to Tanya, you
should have set them where they were facing each other and just build a hallway to where you can go back and forth.
That's what she said too, but like it's the whole problem of getting them watertight. That would be fun on two metal sheds.
Throw you a tarp over it.
We're in Tennessee. It's okay. No, we thought about that. The original plan was to put it behind this one, but the grade of the grass back there, I would have had to have dug about 2 foot to leveled it, and it just wasn't real feasible. So the only thing that I might have changed looking back is maybe move where my dogs are and scoot it over a little bit, maybe like 10 feet over. That's really about it. But I mean, my plans are I'm going to build a ramp on it like we did this one. And if it ever becomes anything more than just a storage shed, then I'll kind of do what we did here and insulate it. It's already wired. Insulate it, put a heat and air pump on it, put more lights in it. I probably won't sheetrock it because it looks really good, but it is intense to get it finished and done.
Yeah.
wallboard's just so much easier.
Yes.
Way, way easier. And just paint it and be done with it. But I mean, it's a thought. I've actually, the way this one's laid out, where my computer is on this side, I've got double doors. You've seen them there. They're behind the shelving. You could just take those doors off and build like a 12 by 8 room on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I counted, you could get like about 12 racks in a room that size. So, man, you're talking about 5,000 listings worth of stuff in one shed then. That'd be huge.
Do you want to have that many listings?
I'd be okay with that. Because here's the thing. If I got to that point, I'd be paying Bailey to come out here. I've actually tried to talk the girls into letting me teach them how to list and set them up computers in the house and network everything together, where they could actually list, and I'd pay them to list, and I just sit out here and proof all their drafts and upload them and do what I need to do, because when you get to that point too, if you don't have like accounting services and bookkeeping, it's a business and you got to do all that stuff. So
shout out my reseller Jeannie. Link down below.
We definitely want a sponsored link.
Code. I've got one. I do. Code OSP15 for 15% off the first month.
Coming soon. Code the Old Pass.
2 OG.
2 OG or 1 OP.
TOP.
TOP.
How about friend would probably shoot him a message and talk to him.
Whose friend?
Me.
Do it.
A good friend. Me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Probably shoot him a message and say, "Hey, can we get a code for the podcast?" They probably don't even know we have a podcast.
They probably don't. They're probably like, "Who are these idiots talking about?"
I've never met them in person, but I've talked to Paul and Faith. I've talked to Faith many a times on Instagram and stuff. Good people, though.
I seen them on Kevin. Kevin had a video with them.
Eric had them on there before too.
They seem like pretty nice people. Really,
yeah, they are.
They do.
So yeah. Oh, bucket list. Can I talk about mine now?
Sure, go ahead. You want to add on to your shed too?
Yeah, no. That sounds like work.
Yeah, it is work.
My bucket list is be retired by the time I'm 50. Oh, wait, I'm almost there.
Hey, you won.
Oh, if you're going to add on to your shed and add 5,000 listings, I know somebody that's got a bunch of inventory.
Hey, if I add on to the shed, I may have come a calling.
I'll be done by then.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Bucket list. Okay, here's one of my bucket lists. This probably is one of my top 2 or 3. You ready? To either own a camper, talking about one that you drive. What are they? Class A?
RV.
RV. Okay, let's go RV. Either own an RV and or rent one and take a trip out west for like 2 months.
That sounds like a pretty neat idea. 2 months, though. I don't know about a 2-month trip. I'd be good after a week. I'm a homebody.
You can't drive out west in a week and do anything.
Well, that's the point. Just drive out there and drive back. Like who wants to do stuff?
Touch a redwood tree in California and drive back. I touched it. Time to go back. No. I want to have like at least a month. I wouldn't even do it if I wasn't going to have a month.
That seems like a lot to take in. Oh, I don't know. I'm a homebody.
Hashtag Caleb's boring.
That's very hashtagable.
Down below.
That is very hashtagable.
I mean, your bucket list was to work more.
Well, that means make more money and then add more stuff onto my shed. And
can't take it with you, brother.
No, you can't, but you can get it ready for those behind you. Do I need to quote a scripture? A good man leaves an inheritance. A good man leaves his children an inheritance.
I plan on it. My kids will be good shape. My kids will be in better shape.
That doesn't necessarily mean money.
That doesn't necessarily mean money.
I will submit to that.
Values. I'm gonna teaching your children all this eBay inventory.
Teaching, yeah. Oh boy, what an inheritance they got coming.
Congrats, you win.
Yeah, that's what I'm really doing. I'm building up my children's inheritance. Oh wow.
It's money.
That's crazy.
It just, you got to make it. You got to earn it. You got to work for it.
Money. I've always heard money is a necessary evil.
Neti pots are apparently a necessary evil.
A necessary evil, he says.
What do you think the chances of us getting a neti pot sponsorship is?
Probably lower than it was when we started. You've been dogging them pretty bad.
It's just bad, man.
I agree. I agree. So what's coming up tomorrow?
Tomorrow, of course, it
Which
will be yesterday by the time you guys listen to this. But we have a live on the Old School Picker channel with me and the Old Pass on there, promoting the two Old Guys Reselling Podcast. And first video on the Old School Picker channel in over a month. And it's a live and first live on there. And we did do a live at the meetup, Highway 127 meetup, promoting it. But first set down live in years on the Old School Picker channel. Are you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. I just
will you be nervous?
No, just excited to see what it'll be like because you're going to have the interaction of the people.
Right. Well,
I'm looking forward to that.
Well, let's talk about this for a minute. Think about how far you have come in a short time.
Think about how far I've fallen. It's probably more.
Well, that could be true. But if I would have told you, let's just say 6 months ago, hey, I'm going to go live. You want to come on there with me?
I'd be like, heck,
you would have been live as a ghost.
I'd have been like, leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah. So think about how far you come, man. That's big.
Well, today's video, number 9. So I've got number 10 filmed and ready to be edited. By the way, you didn't win the eBay gift cards because you didn't enter.
I told you.
I know. Dark Toy Lord won one of them.
Oh, congrats. Good guy.
And then a lady named Tanya, my Tanya was standing here. She said, "This is rigged." I said, "It's not you."
Yeah, it's not you.
Not you.
Congrats on that. Yeah, that's big.
And we, the video coming out today, we got another winner. I can't remember the name of that person, but I better not say it anyway. Yeah. But and then we got, I think we're doing one every week in December. So
yeah, I've seen that.
That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 3 more after this. Next week, we're giving away a scale, a tape gun, a box knife.
What kind of scale?
Crud, I can't even remember.
I seen where, I think it's been a while. I know they've been making them for a while, but Rolo makes a scale now.
Yeah, it's not that.
And it looks really good. I want it.
This is one of the ones that's got the display with a phone cord. You can move it over and get it out of your way.
That's how mine is.
Probably the same as yours. I bought one for me.
Mine's a AWS. Mine's old. This scale I'm using right now is old. It's eBay. I'm eBay old. It's 20 something years old.
In the day,
it's back in the day. Yes,
back in the
still
day.
works though. I mean, I have to clear it out quite a bit, but
yeah,
still works.
Well, I mean, the one I was using was the one Kevin recommended way back when we first started. Kevin promoted that one, and I went and bought it. So because I barely knew who Kevin was back then.
You didn't realize he was a crook back then.
I did not. And I didn't know you. You was still working back then, by the way.
Yeah, probably.
I didn't know anybody really. Tanya was just telling me about people, and she said, this guy says this scale is good. So I go to Kevin's channel and I see it, and I'm like, okay, I go buy it. I probably didn't even use his referral link, to be honest, because I'm that kind of friend.
You are. I can vouch for that. This is not my first scale ever for my eBay operation, though. My first scale ever, and I've got it somewhere. I've not seen it in a long time, but I'm pretty sure it's in my storage unit. Was old. It may have some value. I don't know. Not like crazy value, but it's an old USPS scale, but it's got the dial on it.
Holy cow.
It just weighs up to like 5 pounds. So,
well, the one I had was a 50-pound scale.
Yeah.
The one I just upgraded to is a 110-pound scale, which I don't ever get to 50, but it's just a little bit better made.
If I'm shipping something that's 50 pounds, I'm probably not buying it.
I do avoid that stuff now.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not really
unless it's like $1,000. I'm not even paying attention to it. We speaking of our live and everything, we're doing this live because we hit 800. Well, now we're at 854.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna
at the time of filming this.
Yeah, at the time of filming this.
The reason we're doing the live on the Old School Picker channel is because that's where the biggest reach is as far as subs, and we're hoping we can push the number here from that live. I'm hoping I may be crazy, but I'd love to see 900 tomorrow.
Well, we talked about when we hit 900, we'd do a live on my channel, right?
Well, if we do, then we'll do a live on your channel sometime.
So
and after we wreck my channel tomorrow, we'll totally wreck yours.
Well, what are you gonna wreck? It's nothing happening over there.
That's true. That's true. Hey, I'm glad to be putting some content up on the Old School Picker channel.
That's right. So on our channel this week, we were mentioned 3 times. Like
get Lucky shout outs.
Yeah, 3 shout outs. Lucky 7 shouted us out in their top 3 active reseller channels is what he called it.
The only reason he said the word active is because
to save you. Me. Yes, because you would have been number 1 in the shining star of the universe.
Well, I should be.
Yeah.
It says me. I should be everybody's number 1.
You should.
But I'm usually everybody's number 2.
I think you're everybody's favorite retired YouTube reseller. I think
that joke almost went over your head.
I got it. It hit me right here, and I let it go around.
You was trying not to laugh.
I was trying not to hurt your feelings.
I'm just truthful, man. I'm just truthful. You know how many times, like, when I was doing YouTube content, that was probably the most, when people would talk about me personally and say, you're one of my favorites or you're my favorites, that was usually the number 1 thing people always said about me. I was straight up and honest.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of your people.
I used to, and I appreciate that because that's what I try to be, just be myself. And that's what we do here too. But I used to get that all the time. And to me, that's the ultimate compliment.
I've gave that advice to a couple of people now.
Mm-hmm.
They have asked me, like how, and I don't know why anybody would ask me for advice yet, but they have said, this is what I think about a channel. And I said, just be authentic.
They know everything you learn come from me.
That's it. Yes, that is it.
I give all the credit in the world to Kevin Commonwealth Picker, and I talked to him directly a lot, met him several times on the 127 sale and all that. Probably he had the most direct influence on me, but and I've never met him in person or anything, but Lonnie Shed Flips was a huge influence on me too.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took what he did and stole it.
Lonnie and Candace are, they're a little different than most, but if you want somebody to learn from, there you go.
What attracted, I guess you could say that, to me, to their channel is the stuff they sold was like, oh, that's the stuff I love, because they have a huge passion for toys and action figures and nerd stuff, as I call it. And that, that's the stuff I like to sell. And I was like, I don't even care if, because I've never met them, so I don't know what kind of people they are.
I have met them, actually.
Yeah, that's crazy that you met them.
Mm-hmm. Before I was, this was 3 years ago at 127.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Tanya run into them and Cincinnati Picker John and his brother-in-law, Curious Picker, Brennan, and Tennessee Picker Kevin. All of them was together. And all of them really nice, but now I'm sure Lonnie would walk into my shed and be like, this place is horrible. Because he does not like totes. He would be like, burn this thing down and start all over, which is fine. I have said it like a dozen times on my channel. The eBay thing has to be done the way it works for you.
It does, but and I'm a 100 times believer in that, but I don't see where they get. It is easier to go back there on the shelf and just grab the item, 100%.
And I'm all for it. If it works for them, I wouldn't want them to change it. Do what works.
But how many more items can you get in a tub or a box compared to just a shelf? It's
I do.
It's no comparison.
It is no comparison, but I do get their argument too about stuff getting damaged and broke. It does happen.
Yeah.
If you pack it wrong.
But now their sell-through rate is so good. Their stuff ain't on shelves much.
No.
Well, like you said, if it works for them, keep doing it. And I'm not knocking them. I love those guys. I still, when I do watch YouTube content, reselling content, I do still watch them.
Yeah. But they definitely know what they're doing. Not to make anybody mad, but there are YouTube resellers, and then there are real resellers.
Mm-hmm.
They are YouTube real resellers.
Yeah, they're resellers before they're YouTubers, in my opinion. And not everybody's like that. Not everybody's sellouts like Kevin.
That's true. Dave, Mr. Fake Reseller.
Yeah, Roller Coaster Dave or whatever he's doing now.
World's best cook, Dave. Can he even see over his stove?
Shout out to that video he put out on that world's worst cooking channel he's got, or whatever it is. I guess it was about a year ago, where he's preparing that turkey and he jumps up on the turkey like he's giving it CPR trying to break it. That's still one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. I laughed so hard I was crying.
Oh, that's great.
That is great, man. He jumps. He's trying to split that turkey, and oh my god, it was so funny. It's still one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
That is funny.
So yeah.
But did get mentioned. I said Lucky 7. Page 1 Foot Flipper did a sell-through rate video. I ranked number 7 out of 20. I was number 7. You was like number 12, I think.
That surprises me. But we're near the top 20 in sell-through right now.
You was up there. Number 1 was Cincinnati Picker. He had a 27-day sell-through rate.
Yeah.
But one person brought up how he sells his store off.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably helped him. But Dave come in number 2. I was like, man, Dave
acts like last time I looked, he only had like 200 items listed because he sells everything on Whatnot.
But he acts like he don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Dave knows a lot more than people give him credit for.
Yeah, he knows he's making YouTube videos is what Dave knows.
Yeah, that's right. Oh boy.
I don't play dumb.
And then
I am dumb.
You are what?
I said I don't play dumb. I am dumb.
That's right. We don't know how to play. Tanya told me to quit acting stupid one day. I said, "Do you think this is an act? Come on."
No, I have been thinking about listing some more, and I've decided I think I'm just going to wait till the first year.
Oh,
but I did think about it.
Is this you doing this right here?
Reeling back in,
trying to hook a big one, ain't you?
I didn't say nothing about YouTube.
No. Oh, well, no, I meant trying to sell off your store.
No, I ain't going to. You better be hurrying. I'm telling you, once I get to going on it.
Do you have a Christmas special like Black Friday and holiday special? 25% off?
Yeah, I'll probably do something. Yeah.
No, I mean to sell it to me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll mark everything up 20% and take 10% off of
it. There you go.
Yeah. You've got basically about 25, 26 days to buy me out.
Oh, now you're making it hard. What if I could get you a buyer? Would you give me a commission?
$100.
Man, that's not worth it.
Who are you going to trick into buying my stuff?
I wouldn't trick anybody. But if I found you somebody.
No, I just want to sell it to you because it'd be easy.
Well,
and
what if
I'll
somebody
make you
rolled up and gave you the money?
Make everybody the same deal that I'm going to make you. That's the problem.
Not everybody's got sucker wrote across.
Right. That's exactly what I'm thinking. No, I've told you a million times. You can just come and get it and pay me as you go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a layaway plan for you. I'm not doing that for nobody else.
I hear that.
No offense to nobody in the comments, but don't ask. I'm not doing it for nobody else. So the reason I'm doing it for Caleb because I know where he lives.
Oh, you don't trust me. You just know where I'm at.
I just know where you live. That's it.
Okay. Now I get it. Repo man going to show up at my door.
I mean, yeah, of course. If somebody comes to me with some cash, yeah, sure, I'm selling, but I'm not looking to sell. I'll put it that way.
I hear you. Speaking of sales, I had my first viewer sale.
No.
Yeah.
Your first?
My first through the old paths. I had them through you when you featured me that time, and I've had them through this podcast.
Oh, okay.
But I had not had. I actually had my second. I kind of failed to realize that Rozilla was a viewer when he bought something from me. You know, because he'd done it like 3 times in the past, so it didn't click. But he was my technical first viewer sale. But then I had another one from the Attic Reseller, and the only way I knew that they were a YouTube follower, they watched us. I don't know if they watch us, but they watch me.
Well, they better.
They better. But they didn't comment. They didn't leave me a note or anything. But then on my feedback on eBay, they put on there that they loved the channel, they watched us, and they wanted to support it. And I was like, I didn't even know this was a viewer. So I appreciate it if you're watching. Thank you, Attic Reseller or resellers. I'm not sure. But I appreciate it.
They bought something from me before, but I can't say that with 100% certainty. But I want to say, yeah.
And last week when I mentioned everybody go over and follow my eBay store, like 13 people did. So I appreciate that too. Need another 300 or 400 of you.
How many are you up to?
613. I was at 600.
You're going
Actually, I was at like 599 or 600 last week.
Yeah, I think I was at. I don't think I got any.
You was cracking 1,000. You was like 980 or something, wasn't you?
No, I don't know. I'm at 993 now.
993. Yeah,
that sounds familiar.
I think that's where
I'm on 7 more people. Good grief.
7 people push him over the line.
My score's linked down below too.
And 373 of yous come over to mine.
I'd like for my payout next week to be at least $350.
All of you spend $1, please. Uh-oh, he gone. He done went and left me. Chris, come back. Oh, he's done retired from the podcast. Retired from his channel, retired from the podcast. Thought you'd left.
I did. I accidentally clicked the wrong button. Sorry.
I told everybody you'd done retired from the podcast.
I did. I quit the podcast. I have quit the podcast. No, I did. I hit the wrong button. I was on the wrong screen. I got 2 screens. I got 2 screens and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tabs open.
Wow.
I hit the back button on the wrong tab.
I got 7 tabs open, 2 screens. Well, 8. I got 8 also. Yeah.
You should have had the live thumbnail behind you back there.
That's a good idea. Why didn't you tell me that when we started?
Now that we're 1 hour and 12 minutes in.
And since it's going to actually come out the day before this podcast.
Well, people can go back and watch it.
Yeah, they can go back.
I need all the views I can get on the OSP channel.
That is true.
How many people we're going to have in there at a time tomorrow?
I hope at least like 50. Hopefully.
I hope so too. But of course, we'll share it out and see. But I hope so too. I hope for 50. That'd be a good number. I'd be happy with 50.
50 be good.
People.
All right. You got a comment of the week?
Man, you're on it today.
I'm on it. I got to go here in just a minute.
Oh, I do. It's by the Vintage Codger.
Oh, I like that one.
Salad juice. I need that on a t-shirt.
You know what he's talking about?
The
7-layer salad juice.
7-layer salad. Would you wear a shirt that said #salad juice?
I would. 100%. You get it made, I'm wearing it.
How about neti pot drip? #neti pot drip.
Probably not. Have you heard that term? Check out my drip. I like the drip.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that and I'm like, that has got to be one of the stupidest things I've ever heard.
I'm hip, bro.
I'm hip, yeah.
I'm the hippest 46-year-old,
Well, you're old when you don't understand the teenager lingo, and I didn't know that one.
I've still technically got a teenager.
Yeah, I got 2 of them. I didn't know that.
I've got one that's past teenage years, but
yep.
Kobe will be 18 in April.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. Tell me about it.
Logan will be 19 and Bailey will be 16. So, yeah.
Shout out CJ. He's 23.
Hey, he makes you really old.
It was so funny, too, because me and Shannon had him young. So, like, kindergarten and preschool and, going to all the school meetings and school functions. With CJ, we were always the young parents. But Kobe's almost 6 years younger, nearly like 5.5 years younger. So when we was going to him to all the school functions and stuff when he was little, we were always kind of the older parents. So we ran the whole gambit, man.
We got to experience it all. That's good.
Yeah. So it was weird.
Oh, that's funny. So my comment of the week comes from our good friends Nathaniel and Ashley, Lucky 7 Auction. He said, Chris, you made me feel short when you mentioned your length in pants was the same as mine.
Yep.
I always thought you got the 29s and had them hemmed.
Oh. Yeah, well, shout out. I was the kid in school, all through school, till I got into like high school that, yeah, my pants were always hemmed. It was always so embarrassing.
Mine, I had to have a few hemmed because I couldn't find them long enough, so I had to get the next size. Mom had to cut them off and hem them.
Mm.
I was always a very long kid.
Yeah.
Well, by the time I hit my teenage years, anyway.
I was never fat though. I was tiny.
I was never skinny. So
well, I'm fat now. Let's go ahead and clarify that. I'm fat now. But no, growing up, I graduated high school. High school now, 18 years old, graduated high school, 125 pounds.
Gosh.
Oh man, I pooped stuff out bigger than me back then.
I think when I got out of high school, I was 250 pounds.
Yeah. I've never weighed that, but
because I started working at Walmart, and I was 240 then. I remember because I was in a size 38 pants, and that quickly changed to a 40, and now it's 42. But yeah, and I'm like 290 now, so yeah.
Well, at 18, I graduated high school. I weighed 125. I went to work, put on a little bulk, from 18 to 21. At 21, I weighed 140.
Wow.
I got married at 21, 140 pounds, 1 year anniversary, 175. 35 pounds in the first year of marriage. Tell me what my wife ain't a good cook.
That's right.
And now I'm a little bit I'm a lot north of 175 now. I fluctuated to around 185 for years. But over the last couple, ever since we moved out here, I think it's having access to all this food out here. I'm 200 right now.
Really?
Actually, when I went to the doctor about my ear, I was the heaviest I'd ever weighed in my entire life. It scared me. It scared the crap out of me. I weighed 202. Now that was, all my clothes on, shoes and everything. So I have been on somewhat of a diet.
You are deceptively 200 pounds. Deceptive.
Well, I wear clothes too big for me.
Yeah. Well, I would have guessed about 175.
Oh, I wish, man. If I could be 175 again, oh my goodness. But I have been on a diet, and it's a bad time of the year to be doing dieting. So I've not been super strict on it, but I am back down to 194.
There you go.
So if I can just maintain that through the end of the year with the holidays, and then come January, that's my goal, is to be back to 175. But if I can just get back to 185, I'd be somewhat happy. But I'd love to see 175 again. Love it.
I've been saying for years I'd love to get back down to 250. And I was down about 5 years ago at work. I was down to like 258. Man, I was doing so great. Then I just kind of succeeded, and I said, I'm there, and I just kind of started cruising. Before long, I was at 265, 75, and then I was back up. So, yeah, you have to be somewhat consistent. Speaking of bulking up, though, I looked at a picture of Randy Orton. You talked about him being big. That dude looks like he is chiseled out of granite, son.
Man, he's
geez. He looks like he put on 30 pounds of muscle. He was a mountain, dude.
Yeah. I'd like to see him up against Brock Lesnar.
I bet he's not that much smaller now.
I don't think he is either, man. His chest.
He was the biggest I've ever seen him.
If
you go back to when he started and he looked like a little nerd. And he wasn't a small dude,
Well,
But
he
I
was
bet
always
he,
chiseled, but
I
like
bet he
you
weighs
said, man,
250 like that.
he's put on some weight, but it
He was
ain't
a
fat.
rock, man. He looked like a rock. Yeah,
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good. He's on that
he did.
Dwayne Johnson program or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I've got a dad joke for you that goes along with the holidays.
you were on it. You must have a hot date tonight.
No, I got to eat supper.
You was eating when before we went live.
That was a Christmas tree, little Debbie's cake. That don't count as supper.
You're like Kobe. You eat your dessert first.
No, not usually, but I just wanted one really bad. So.
Okay.
All right, so here it is. What do you call a poor Santa Claus?
A poor Santa Claus. It's a tough one. I don't know.
Saint Nicholas.
Nicholas. Oh. Did you hear the one about the two antennas that got married?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the wedding wasn't much, but the reception was outstanding, right?
Yep. The ceremony wasn't much, but the reception was excellent.
Yeah. I knew it was something like that.
I just figured you had seen that one before, but I was like, it's too good not to share.
I like it. I like it, though.
I have, for the record, won the last 2 weeks.
No, that record is very messed up.
According to Rozilla, who is the official judge and the sponsor of Two Old Guys Dad Joke Battle,
he only leaves 25 comments of each show. So,
well, he has voted me the winner officially the last 2 times. I know, maybe 3.
Oh my gosh, you really have lost your mind.
And I think, even though you guessed mine, if it's just going by content of the joke,
I had you.
I think I won this week too.
Oh, it's an automatic loss when it's guessed. Boom, done. Hammer.
Rozilla, let us know down in below, and everybody else let us know down below.
Winner.
There's nobody listening to this podcast in an hour and 21 minutes in anyways, because I would say after the first 22 minutes of the reselling talk, and we got to talking about somebody squirting crap up their nose with a neti pot, I'd say we lost 90% of our viewers.
Yeah, I would say you're right. They're like, what is wrong with this podcast? This is not supposed to be a reselling podcast.
EBay.
Next week.
God, we should have talked about this earlier.
Yes, I forgot all about it. And how could I forget? My good personal friend Ken Bill will be here with the Two Old Guys. I'm looking forward to that one.
I am too. I am looking forward to watching you be starstruck.
I'm going to sit here like this.
Well, there's my thumbnail.
Yeah.
122.
I'll just do this number here, you know.
Yes, Kim Bill, SSK promo. What's that horrible podcast they've got?
Reseller Don't Click This Bait podcast.
Yes, Reseller Not Clickbait podcast.
Are we still racing them, by the way? They was talking about racing us.
Well, we didn't ever take it serious because, I mean, for there to be a race, there has to be competition, right?
Oh, that was rough. I didn't say it, guys. He said it.
Well, they'll probably mooch off of us next week. They are up to 582.
582 is not bad.
Let's just put that in perspective. Not only are we smoking them here, but you're smoking them over there on your channel.
That was not nice. Oh my goodness!
You hear that?
Think about that.
You hear that, Kim Bill, the man with 2 first names,
Mr. Kenneth Billington. Yes,
I think they should put Teresa on there.
Oh, that would be.
I'll tell you the best thing though is who is it? Their granddaughter or niece? Granddaughter?
Yeah, talks with Grams and Pops.
That's funny, man.
I've seen a little bit of that on the Instagram.
Yeah, they had a her on there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. She was asking them like, "What's this and what's that?" and they didn't know either.
That's actually brilliant.
That's pretty funny. Hey, they've come a long way. They're not that old of a channel, and not that old of resellers either. So they've really come on strong.
You talking about Grams and Pops?
I'm talking about Grams and Pops.
I've not looked at their channel in a while. 2.23.
Yeah.
2,200.
And they've not been out. I mean, they've only been around a little over a year.
164 videos.
That's a bunch.
That's a bunch of videos.
For the age of how, I mean, they ain't been doing it that long. So
no, they're really good. I like them.
Might have been more like 2 years. I don't know, but they ain't been around that long.
They have what's their top ranking video? Oh, they smoked me on top ranking videos. They've got one that's got 11,000.
Sweet.
The top 5 YouTube reseller channels, according to us. I better be one of those top 5.
I don't think you was.
I bet I wasn't. Hey, listen, I ain't top 5 anything reselling. I'll admit that in a big time hurry right now. Especially,
I picked up 2 subs since we've been on. 2 subs, 678.
Hey, you'll pick up a few subs tomorrow during the live.
That's cool.
Not only will we be sharing this channel out on the Old School Picker channel, but we'll be sharing your channel out too.
Yeah,
that's what good friends do.
Okay. I've talked about you in several videos.
Right. How many subs here are you responsible for?
At least 3, maybe 4.
Well, we need you to be responsible for about 146 more at the moment.
If you want to know the truth, our sub count took off when my video took off. It gained about 60 or 70.
Oh, no.
It did. It was at like 775.
When did that video come out? Because we've got 34 subscribers on this channel in the last 28 days.
It was video 4, I believe. Let me look. I think it was video 4.
What day? Give me a date.
I'm looking. It
came I know everybody wants to hear about this.
November 2nd.
November the 2nd?
Yep. And it's got 6655 views.
November 2nd.
This is the most interesting podcast ever.
Yes.
Nothing really different, right?
Well, that's what we do. I can't see on November 2nd how many subs we gained. I'm sure there's a place, but
it didn't take off for like 4 days. It took off within the first week. I don't remember when it was really, but it was like a week, and it started really blowing up. And it started blowing up a little bit again because it had like 6,000 views at the beginning of this last week. So it's picked up almost 700 this week.
Yeah, I don't know. I know there's a place I can see that I'm looking for, but I don't see it right this minute.
My point is, I think I brought 30 or 40 people over with that video.
Well, my point is, can you bring 146 more?
I'm trying. Hey, check out my Christmas tree.
Ooh. Hey, that 2 old guys back there looks like a neon light.
I'm just going to hang out like this for a few minutes. That
looks like a neon light.
That's pretty cool looking right there.
Really cool looking.
This old guy sitting in the dark.
I can sit in the dark too.
You're just hanging out in the dark. My head looks a whole lot better. There ain't no glare.
Ain't no glare.
That's way better than it usually is.
That is.
I may just
look at that 2 old guys logo though. Does that not look good?
Neon sign.
It does look neon.
It looks pretty cool.
Shout out me for designing that. I took about 5 minutes to design that. Oh,
look at my lights up there. You like them?
Wow.
Now my camera's going to fall off my.
Well, people that's listening on the audio side, you got to come to YouTube to see the last 5 minutes to see the neon lights in Caleb's shed.
Yes.
And see the mess that's been behind me for the last month because I've not worked on it. I literally come out here, ship, and go back in. I ain't gonna lie.
So what do you do during the day? It looks like you're smoking a pipe when you put that thing in your mouth. The way it's curved.
It's a neti pot. I tried to get my wife to let me just drink the medicine. She's like, no, I don't think it'll work that way. I'm like, I would rather drink it than squirt it up my nose. What did you just ask me? What am I doing all day? Well, today I took the old family to the grocery store and done some grocery shopping.
Where do you shop at?
Usually Walmart, but we had some other places to go. We're going to go to Walmart, I think, Thursday. But yeah, we had to go to the Dollar Tree. We had to go into a couple of thrift stores. Didn't look at nothing to resell. Well, I mean,
I
let's be
would say
honest.
I'm disappointed, but I
There's
mean,
no sense buying anything if you ain't gonna list it.
that and the content you're looking at in thrift stores ain't great anymore.
No.
Hey, by the way, you
Well,
guys
we went into Goodwill. We went into Goodwill, and then we went into another thrift store. And
yeah,
our Goodwill, I'm telling you right now, it's horrible.
It's when it
If you're
first
looking for clothes, it's probably all right. But
when it first opened, it was good.
Yeah,
it fell through like a ton of bricks.
I hate it.
Hey, by the way, before I forget, you guys are invited to our Christmas play. On the 17th at 3
o'clock. You're talking about everybody that's listening?
Sure. Everybody come on. All 45 of you at this point. Come on. The 17th at 3 o'clock. Actually, it will be streamed on our church. If y'all are interested, you can go through my Facebook link, and it's Westside Baptist Church link there.
I can't come.
You're welcome. Come see that. Do what?
I can't come.
You can't come?
No, it's when we're doing Christmas with my family.
Well, you're invited anyway.
Okay.
I understand. You like your family better than me. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, most of it.
I don't.
Okay. No. Today we're doing our Christmas for my family. Doing. We always do Christmas with my Shannon's family on Christmas Eve, but we are having a little get together this weekend for her family as well. We do a little get together for her family at our house a few weeks before Christmas, and then at her mom's house on Christmas Eve for the official Christmas Eve deal. This is kind of like a Christmas party for her family.
Well, all the rest of everybody watching that's coming, we're having food too. So
yeah,
I'm sure that's
the only way I'm coming is if Kathy comes. If Kathy comes, I will stop everything I'm doing and come.
Man, I'm just going to tell you right now, Kathy was coming to the meetup.
I know.
Can you believe that? And circumstances prohibited that, but she was coming.
That would cause me to definitely do another meetup right there.
Yeah.
If nothing else was like, I could be completely out of reselling, and if Kathy told me, hey, if you have another meetup, I'll come, I would probably have to. I mean, unless I just had something crazy going on.
So if I told you we're having another meetup, you wouldn't come? Boy.
Well, after you helping me out last year, I would definitely owe you one for sure.
That was the correct answer.
Yes. Actually, let me really correct that answer. I would owe Tanya.
Yeah, true. She did lots of work.
She did lots of work. So.
Lots of cooking too, man.
All right, hour and 32 minutes in. Nobody's listening. Let us know Neon in the comments down below. Shout out Neon to Old Guys sign back there. That looks really good. I like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Thank you guys for listening. Any final words?
Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow, which was yesterday, and come check out the new video.
Make sure you watch the live. Go back and watch it too.
Yeah.
Plan on having a lot of fun. How long are we going tomorrow? 4 hours?
4 hours. I don't know about that.
30 minutes?
Hour? 30 minutes, hour? Something like that.
Nah, you can't go 30 minutes. You got to go at least an hour. Hour and a half.
I don't know the rules, so
yeah,
I've never done a live. So.
60 to 90 minutes.
That sounds good to me.
So if you want to see Caleb nervous, go back and watch the Old School Picker live yesterday.
Caleb ain't going to be nervous, probably.
And a live viewing of me versus a neti pot.
Now I'm nervous.
You're nervous for me.
I'm so nervous.
It's bad. It's bad. And I've got to go in there and do it again tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
All right. Thank you. Yep. 2 old guys out. Don't you ever say it?
2 old guys out.
Better.